Let me start with something that feels small but isn't. Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift didn't just randomly start appearing in the same conversations again. That part matters. Because for years, the rule was simple: keep them separate. Different worlds, different narratives, different audiences. And now suddenly, that invisible wall feels thinner, not broken, just softer. And when that happens in celebrity culture, it's almost never accidental, because timing is everything, and the timing here feels uncomfortable. This didn't happen during calm periods. It didn't happen when either of them was untouchable. It's happening during moments of tension, moments where public opinion is shifting, not exploding, but quietly questioning. And those are the most dangerous moments for any celebrity brand. So before we assume this is random, we need to ask what pressure exists beneath the surface. At first glance, nothing looks dramatic. No headline screaming reunion. No official statements. Just alignment. And alignment is always more interesting than chaos, because chaos is obvious. Alignment is deliberate, the kind that makes you pause and think, okay, who benefits from this? And once you start asking that question, the situation stops looking emotional and starts looking calculated. But calculated doesn't always mean cold. Sometimes it means necessary. So let's talk about what most people believe. The easiest explanation: that this is maturity, that time healed old wounds, that both women simply outgrew the drama that once defined them. And that theory is comforting. It lets fans feel like everything ended well, like growth happened, like pop culture finally moved on. It's clean, it's positive. It's also exactly the kind of story the industry loves to sell. Taylor looks confident. Kim looks composed. Both appear successful, stable, untouchable. From that angle, reconciliation feels logical, almost inevitable. People change. Priorities shift. Empires get bigger. Drama gets smaller. And if that was the full story, we wouldn't be talking right now. Because peaceful endings don't create tension. They don't spark speculation. They don't feel unresolved. And this situation? It feels very unresolved. Here's where the obvious theory starts cracking. If this was purely emotional growth, why didn't it happen quietly years ago? Why not when Taylor was openly reframing her past? Why not when Kim was actively rebuilding her public image? Why wait until now when both of them are facing subtle but real shifts in how audiences respond to them? Growth doesn't usually wait for pressure. Strategy does. Because pressure doesn't always look like scandal. Sometimes it looks like doubt. Taylor's facing overexposure conversations. Kim's facing relevance conversations. Neither is catastrophic, but both are dangerous long-term. And when two powerful brands face different problems at the same time, alignment can feel less like coincidence and more like insurance. Which brings us to a very different explanation. One, people don't like as much. What if this isn't about peace? What if it's about protection? Public perception is fragile. And when narratives start drifting out of your control, the smartest move isn't to fight them, it's to redirect them. Linking names, shifting focus, creating emotional contrast. Suddenly, people stop asking hard questions and start revisiting old stories. Nostalgia replaces scrutiny, and that tactic has worked before. Very well. Think about what each side gains. Taylor gains maturity optics, forgiveness optics, elevation above drama. Kim gains validation, normalization, a soft rewrite of history. But here's the catch. If this was a clean PR move, it would be loud, clear, controlled. Instead, everything feels cautious, almost restrained. And that restraint is the detail people keep ignoring. Because restraint usually means negotiation, not resolution. If both teams agreed on the story, we'd hear it. But we don't. We hear silence, strategic silence, the kind that lets audiences argue for you. That creates theories without committing to any of them, and that only works when no single explanation fully satisfies, which is exactly what's happening here. Every theory explains something but breaks something else, and that's where emotional analysis starts mattering more than logic, because emotions leak, even through perfect PR. Taylor's recent tone is careful, measured, less playful than before. Kim's tone, defensive but calm, focused on being misunderstood rather than attacked. Those emotional signals don't scream closure, they suggest boundaries, like two people agreeing not to reopen wounds, but also not pretending they never existed. And that emotional distance is loud, even when words are quiet. If everything was truly resolved, wouldn't there be warmth, a shared joke, a moment of ease? Instead, we see professionalism, politeness, control. The kind you use when you're managing risk, not celebrating peace. And that brings us to the theory that doesn't fit cleanly anywhere but explains the discomfort better than the others. What if this isn't collaboration? What if it's alignment under pressure? Not friendship, not forgiveness, but mutual awareness of a shifting audience. When culture moves fast, even icons feel it. Attention fragments, loyalty softens, and sometimes the smartest move isn't to dominate alone, but to redirect together, even temporarily, even cautiously, especially if neither side wants to lose control of the narrative first. Taylor's risk isn't cancellation, it's saturation. Kim's risk isn't backlash, it's fading dominance. Those are different problems, but they require similar solutions: relevance, emotional framing, and conversation control. Linking their names does that instantly. But here's the issue. If this was planned months in advance, it would feel smoother. And it doesn't. It feels reactive, like something shifted unexpectedly. That's the part nobody talks about. Why does this feel like a response, not a rollout? Why now specifically? Why this alignment and not another? Those questions matter because celebrity strategy is rarely impulsive. When something feels rushed, it usually means the original plans stopped working, and when original plans fail, alliances change. Quietly, carefully, without full commitment. Which explains the ambiguity, but doesn't resolve it. The missing piece is ownership. Neither Kim nor Taylor has claimed this narrative. They're letting it exist without defining it. That's unusual, because ownership equals control. And right now, control feels shared but fragile, almost temporary, like both sides are waiting to see how audiences react before stepping further in. And that hesitation tells us more than any statement ever could. Fans think they understand what's happening. They think it's closure, or PR, or growth. But belief doesn't equal accuracy, especially when the story keeps shifting depending on where you look. One angle makes Taylor look empowered, another makes Kim look redeemed. But no angle explains everything. And when no explanation satisfies, it usually means the real story hasn't fully surfaced yet. Because if this was the end of a story, it would feel settled, it would feel calm, it would feel finished. Instead, it feels paused, like a chapter break. And chapter breaks exist for one reason: to keep you watching, to keep options open, to allow movement without commitment. And that's exactly where this situation sits right now. Not resolved, not exploding, just positioned. So here's what we actually know. Nothing is confirmed, nothing is denied, nothing is fully explained. And that's intentional, because once the truth is clear, the conversation ends. And right now, neither side wants that. So watch the timing, watch the silence, watch the Simons, watch who speaks next. Because whatever happens, this story isn't finished yet.